Hi there YouTube, welcome back to the first return to my older armies series, and of course before you is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 point Saga army for the Mutatawwia. And like I say, I think I've said in previous videos, I'm planning to do like a series of these on my favourite armies. So they'll probably end up totaling maybe, let's see, I'm going to do, I like to revisit my Saga Vikings, my Saga Irish, my Bolt Action Italians, and my Bolt Action Marine Corps, and possibly my Bolt Action French. I've got to say that I was actually quite happy with my original French video. But I haven't decided on that yet. But definitely the Italians and definitely the Marine Corps, and possibly some others. But what I'll do is I'll sort of complete one, and then I'll kind of give you the choice if you want to comment and comment on which one you'd like to see next, and I'll try and do that one next. So, like I say, this is my Saga Mutatawwia army. I've never actually played them in a battle. I collected these guys back way before even version 2 of Saga had come out. I did get the Crusades book, which luckily I believe, apart from the new cards, the new sort of battle boards, I think the rules are more or less the same. But again, like I said, I've never actually played these guys, and of course their opponents, which are the Milites Christi, in my case, I've actually never even started. So they're actually in my mountain. So yeah, so basically the idea of these videos is to basically just go back over the troops in a more sleek and sort of faster way, because I think the original video was like over an hour long. And hopefully it'll turn out being more miniatures, less blurb, and you can basically have a good close look at them. I've got to say, I'm pretty proud of these guys. I basically had one pack of little big man studio shield transfers for these guys. And I think I had to leave like 3 of them because none of the shields matched the shape of the shields that were on the actual transfer sheet. So there's probably only about 3/4 of an actual packet actually used, and all the other shields are actually hand painted. And this was it's quite a daunting task painting these guys. I'd never actually painted any sort of ancient Arab figures before, and of course they're well known for having like quite gaudy, bright, and sort of well decorative clothing and stuff. And I tried to sort of bring that out within a lot of the sort of Hearth Guard and stuff. And I've also came up with quite a sort of good background story for these chaps as well, which of course I'll explain as I go along. But of course, one of the easily given away parts of the story is the blue headbands on practically every single figure, and of course that kind of matches up with the Warlord, who also has a blue headband on. And we'll actually start with the Warlord. So let me just get him in and try and get some light on him. So this whole project started with the 6-point Mutatawwia starter set, and this is actually the Warlord that you actually get in the box. Let's see if we can get him a bit closer to the camera. I thought, well, you know, he's a nice enough figure, but he's just not flashy enough just to sort of stick this guy on a normal base. So I decided to kind of build him up on a sort of a plinth of rock, and I think it makes him look a little bit more intimidating. But basically the sort of story behind him is that his adopted uniform colour is this kind of Luftwaffe type blue, and of course the light blue headband, There's also sort of significance in the sash that he's wearing as well. The red sash. You'll come across that quite a bit throughout the army. And of course he's got quite heavily decorated and expensive looking robes and stuff on underneath his chainmail. So that is the Warlord for the Mutatawwia. Okay, next up we're going to quickly work through the Hearth Guard. Now I don't know if you guys know anything about Mutatawwia, but certainly in the first edition, the sort of special battle boardy type rules for these guys is that they work on sort of a sacrifice type mechanic, and if you sacrifice Hearth Guard, you actually get much bigger bonuses. So I designed my army around a core of 4 groups of on-foot Hearth Guard, designed specifically so that I could use Hearth Guard as sacrificial pawns to be able to give the army some backbone and using special abilities. Now, the unfortunate thing about my Hearth Guard is that basically this whole army is made of gripping beast figures, and all of my Hearth Guard packs were all basically exactly the same. So you basically see the same Hearth Guard over and over and over again, but obviously I've just painted them differently. So on this set here we can see that there's a nice combination of 2 little big man studio shield transfers, and 2 chaps that have got hand painted shields here and here. And specifically in the Hearth Guard you'll see a lot of red bands which signify that these guys were part of the elite Black Guard. So that is the first. These stands that they're on actually are just designed for easy packing in the box rather than actually being used as figure stands. I tend to use my Hearth Guard as just 4 separate figures, and it's only the bigger units that I tend to have on bases. But I made these up out of some 25mm circular bases that came in kind of the not sort of cut out, but you had to push them out yourself type thing, and I decided to make little carrying bases out of them for ease of putting into the box when I pack them away. So that's the first stand of Hearth Guard, and you can see they've got some quite decorated overshirts and robes and stuff. So that is the first unit of Hearth Guard. Then we'll go for the second unit. Again, looks like we've got 2 little big man studios and 2 hand painted shields. Some nice sort of designs, and again, sort of the blue headdresses coming out, and of course some guys just wearing the uniform blue of the Warlord, and others with more slightly more posher looking robes. So that is the second stand of Hearth Guard. Next one. Here. So again, looks like we've got 3 hand painted shields. Now the shields have actually got proper, well, proper as in the representation of, because I'm obviously not a master of being able to freehand Arabic writing, but I did my best. I basically looked on the internet, found some Arab phrases, and basically copied them, and I think I've got like 2 or 3 phrases that I used throughout the army. So all of these shields, 3 of the shields are hand painted. And again we have decorated robes of various sorts. So that is the third stand of Hearth Guard. One more to go. So here is the last stand of foot mounted Hearth Guard, and we have one printed shield and 3 hand painted shields. Again, really happy with how they turned out. And again, we have some nice decorated overrobes. So yeah, that's the foot mounted Hearth Guard out the way. Next up, we'll go for let's go for foot infantry. So we'll start off with the compound bow archers. So these chaps are actually on a proper base, and you can see that these guys are all individual. They've all got different designs on their robes, and these guys turned out really cool. Of course, they've got the blue headdresses, and they've all got all sorts of different designs on their robes. And I do really like these guys actually. I think they came out really cool. So that is the compound bow unit, only one of those. Next up we have the foot troops. So again, these guys have got they've got all hand painted shields, these guys, and you can see there's a little bit of uniformity with some of the shields. They all seem to have sort of similar colours. Only had one base of these guys. I think that if I were to buy a second pack, they would again be all duplicate figures. I went a little bit different with the foot troops actually, as you'll see in the next unit. But these are the bog standard infantry. They have sort of semi-decorated robes. These 4 here have, in fact, actually there's sort of like a running theme of colours going through. They've all got this sort of red leather type robes with these different sort of designs on them. I think they came out pretty cool. Excuse the sawing, I don't know where that's coming from. Probably the shop down on the corner. I think they're having renovations done or something. So that is the foot troops. Now the last set of foot troops have kind of got a little bit of a special story. Now these guys here, I call them the Black Guard. I think the actual figures themselves are actually called the Black Guard as well, but I think the actual original unit is designed for the Moors. But in my army, these guys are the elite regiment of the Warlord. Obviously, rules-wise, they're just a bunch of warriors. But you can see that they're all in black, and they've all got similar sorts of shields, and they all have the red sash to show that they're being part of the elite Black Guard. So that's where the red sash ties in with some of the other troops, especially a lot of the Hearth Guard, with a lot of the Hearth Guard being ex Black Guard and being promoted to like nobles, etc. And these guys, like I say, are the kind of the elite guard. We have this guy here with the odd shield. He is the sort of the unit leader, and then we have these 2 guys here and here, which are kind of like the protectors of the banner, and then we have 4 normal troops at the back. I was really chuffed with these guys. I think it was a brilliant idea to include them, and I really like the figures. So that is the Black Guard of the Warlord, but of course just a standard unit of warriors in reality. Next up we'll go on to the last 3 units, which are basically 2 units of mounted Hearth Guard and the Camel Riders, which we'll actually do those next. So let's bring them forward. These guys were the first camels I'd ever painted, and I've got to say that it was quite a daunting process painting these guys. I hunted through the internet to try and find camel painting techniques, and I came across a really good one, but it was like really complicated. And in the end, I just do what I normally do, is basically so take a complicated painting tutorial and modify it to my own ways to make it a lot easier. And I think it turned out pretty cool. So let's start off with this guy who is deemed the leader of the Camel Riders. So there we have the camel, and this chap has a I think that's a shield transfer on his shield. You can see he's got a nice decorated camel blanket. He's got the red sash of being a blackguard, and he's also got the blue band of the Warlord. So that is the leader of the Camel Riders. Then we have another chap with a shield transfer. I think it's because their shields were that particular shape and size, and you actually got like 4 of them. So, or was it 3 of them? I think it's 4 of them. I think all these guys have got shield transfers, which of course why I had to waste 4, because I just didn't have the right shaped shields. So again, a nice decorated camel blanket, and of course this chap doesn't have the red sash, but he does have the Warlord's blue band. Then we have yet another shield transfer. Now this chap does have the red sash of being in once being in the blackguard. And he's got sort of white robes on, with a red leathery type over robe, a little bit of decoration on the back. Pretty cool. And look, finally, the last chap, a very decorated camel blanket on this chap, and pretty basic overalls for this guy, all clothing, just a sort of a classic white robe. No red sash, but a very snazzy camel blanket. So that is the Camel Riders. Now we'll go on to the final 8 miniatures, which are basically the mounted Hearth Guard. So let's start off with this chap. Now this chap looks as if he's got a little bit of a loose spear. So these guys are, from what I can remember, nothing super special, but just they have got hand painted shields, a lot of them. But this guy's all in black. I think he looks pretty cool actually. Nice decorations on the horse. All black apart from the blue band and a white sash, which of course has no significance. Then we have the next one, who's wearing the blue of the Warlord. Another hand painted shield with some slashes in it, put in by me. That's the second. The third, the leader, the projected leader, because obviously there's no rules for having leaders. But this guy's got the purple over jacket, another hand painted shield, and of course the gold thread decoration, and of course the blue headdress. And then finally, for the first unit, we have another chap in all white. He has a cape, decorated. This chap, he does actually have a shield transfer, this chap, so it must have been one of the odd ones that were left. I do tend to give my shield transfers to my Hearth Guard when I do have a pack normally. So let's go on to the final unit now. So here we have another chap all in white, but he has the red sash of the Black Guard, and he also has a decorated horse blanket. And I think that's a shield transfer too. And a nice sort of pale grey horse. Then we have this chap, and I think that is a shield transfer too. Pretty basic, this guy. Got a decorated horse blanket in the blue of the Warlord. Got a purple scarf around his neck. So that is the second mounted Hearth Guard of the last unit. And then finally the last two, and I think we're doing a pretty good job on cutting down on the time here. We have this chap here, and all in the red. Now he has a green sash on his waist this time, and the green sash basically denotes that he was a officer in the Black Guard, which of course is probably quite a high position. He has the shield transfer, and he's got the green sash and showing it off because he's got the green ribbon on the horse, and he's also got the green face mask to show it off. So quite a show off, this guy. And finally, on the sand coloured horse, we have the final chap. This guy also has a shield transfer with the looks of it. Again, probably due to the shape of his shield. And yeah, again, sort of more basic colours. There's sort of the Warlord's blue, and of course a nice decorated silver threaded horse blanket. And yeah, that is the end of my Mutatawwia. And I've got to say, these guys, I've definitely got a place in my heart for these guys. I definitely really enjoyed doing them, as scared as I was before I started. And I was really happy with how they turned out, and I think they'll always be in my top 10 armies that I've done in the past. These guys, I can't remember exactly how long it was since I did the video on them, but they'd been around for probably at least a month or two before that. Let me just have a quick look. I'll tell you exactly. You've got to go quite a way back on my channel to find them. But they're not exactly in the early years. Let's have a look. So yeah, you got to go back quite a way. And like I say, they're probably a month or two older than the actual video that I did on them. So I think I'm coming up on them fairly soon. So here we go. 4 years ago. So probably about, yeah, say sort of 4 years, and then they're probably around for maybe 2 or 3 months before that. And that's when I completed them. So yeah, that's more or less the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed going back through these guys. I haven't looked at them for a long time. Now, choices for the next ones, the next throwback. So let's say Saga Vikings or US Marine Corps. Those are your choices. Feel free to say in the comments which ones, which army you'd prefer to see next, and I'll do sort of a similar kind of thing. And until next time, I'll catch you all later. Bye bye.